welcome back to another Python tutorial. In this session, I'm going to talk about filter. Let's go! As you remember, in the previous session, we talked about @, I@, and insert. You can find our previous videos here, but in this session, we are going to talk about filter. Let's get into our coding. First, I need to import our required libraries such as NumPy and Pandas, and then I want to create a data frame. I said a pandas.dataframe, and I use a tab to accelerate my process. And I said, for example, something like a name for the name of my column, and for example, I can use the name of, I don't know, the car such as BMW, for example. Tutor, or something like, for example, I don't know, the Benz, something like this. And also I can add another column such as motor. I don't know exactly the cylinder, just I use something random number. And the other one, it can be color for our car. For example, the BMW can be a black. The other one can be blue, and the other one, for example, can be red. Okay. Also, I want to add indexes here, and I said the name of company, for example, the company 1, the other one, the company 2, and the other one is the company 3, and I print out df. Oh, okay. As you can see, name, motor, and the color is for our column names, and the company 1, 2, and 3 is for our indexes. Okay. What does it filter do here? I can say df dot a filter, and then pass it some parameters. Let's check the parameters with shift and tab. As you can see, these parameters are something like item, like, reg expression, and the axis. But we can start with the item. And what is items? I can pass the name of. At the first, I have to say that these items, these all parameters, items, like, and reg expression, are related to the name of our column and the name of our indexes. Okay. So I said that the items, and I pass the name of my columns, for example, the name, and for example, I can pass the second one, something like a color. And if I run it, it just filter my data frame with this name of column, just name and a column. And it doesn't have any different with this one. If I set a name here, and also I add a color, you can see that these two results are the same. But df filter also gives me another options. For example, I can set that df.filter, and I use a like parameter. When you remember just part of the name, for example, we can add something like a code here. For example, AXP, it's just the code, it doesn't have any meaning. For example, I don't know, GH and 2, something like this. And then I said that please give me something that it has AXP in it, and I have to pass the axis as well. As you know, the axis 0 is related to the index, and the axis 1 is related to the name of column. So if I pass the axis 0 here, it just check the index names. And if I pass this one, it said that we don't have any AXP in our index name. But if I pass here, for example, the 1, it gives me, for example, motor AXP, because it checked the name of our columns. And also, it is really important, the capital and the small of the words. For example, if I said the AXP, in a small, and it said it brings nothing for me because it's just a log, so it should be exactly the same. Okay, also we can use this one, and for example, for the indexes, for example, I said df.filter, and I said log, and I said I don't remember the name of the company exactly, but I know that it has a number 3 in it. So I set the axis into the 0 because I want to check the name in the indexes, and as you can see, it brings just company number 3 because this 3 number it's bring here into the axis 0. But what about the regression? Let me run this one. As you can see, we have some character for reg expression, and we can use all of them here or some of them. For example, I said that df.filter and reg expression, and I can use these characters. For example, I said that I don't know the name of my column, but I know it just started with something. For example, if I print data frame of my code here, for example, I don't know the name of exactly the name of my column, but I know that, for example, it started with a M, so I said that use this character starts with, and here is the example, you can find it. So I said please start with M, and which axis it need to check. For example, please check for the column name, so I should pass the number 1, and as you can see, it just bring the motor AXP because just motor AXP start with M. Also, I can use another reg expression, for example df.filter, and I said reg expression, and here, for example, the ends with, I can use the character here as a sign of dollar, and for example, I can say I don't know, it ends with 2 and a sign of dollar here, and I have to set the axis something such as 1, and as you can see, it gives me this column name. But the other one, we can check it. For example, it's related to the reg expression. Let me check it here. It related to the set of characters, so I can say please give me all of them which is end with for example A to Z. It means that A to Z, it means that doesn't give me something that ends with a number. So if I said here the axis 1, it just give me a name Y. As you can see, the df, now let me print a data frame here. And maybe you said that the P is in A to Z, but I have to say that A to Z is a small here, and it's really important into a filter to care about the capital or the small of the letter. But if I let me don't change this one and write another, and if I said the df.filter and the reg expression with A with capital to the small z, and then I use it the sign of dollar and the axis 1, you can see that it brings XP for me because A to Z, it's start from A capital to the Z capital, and also from A small to the Z small. So it is really important to care about the capital and the small here. Also, the other characters, you can check it by yourself. And this is all about the filters you have to know when working with a data frame. If you have any question, please comment below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe our channel because a lot of videos are uploading sooner or later. And watch our next video, and bye bye.